like hoping to it's like I can do it, but if only we push it back. I'm so sorry.
Hey everyone!
Hi.
Oh my goodness, we already have some comments. Let's go to it.
Mm.
Hey Terry. Hey Megan. I've been doing errands all day, but I made it. Yay. Glad you're here, Megan. Hey Lisa. Hey Paige. As you can see, we have a lovely guest today because Bea is out sick. So Crystal so graciously joined me. And I hope she enjoyed the book. If not, it's fine too. Bea, hi Bea. Hi Lainey. Hey Abby Jean. Hey Sock. Hey Mary. Hey Jody. And hello Dee. It's 10 p.m. Oh my goodness. I totally understand if you go to bed. That's fine. Hey Shan. So I guess we'll start with, our initial ratings, maybe. What were your initial ratings?
I read this so early in the month because I was afraid I wasn't going to get to it because I had that work trip. So
Yeah.
I remember, I think I rated it a 5. So I think I want to make sure, it was between a 4 and a 5. So I want to make sure, after a discussion, let's refresh my memory on everything. Or oh yeah, I did this and then this. Yeah. So I think it was a 5 because I do remember really, really enjoying it. So there's only a couple things I remember I was like, I don't necessarily like, but so it was between a 4 and a 5 for sure.
Yeah. This is my reread of this. I read it way back when I first started historical romance. Loved it then, and I still love it. So I think I went with a 5-star. I love a class difference. There's something about it.
I love it too.
It's just so good. Hey, Affy. Hey, Kamal. Lisa says, I really enjoyed this one. 4.5 stars. Awesome. I gave it 4 stars, just finished it today and really enjoyed it. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Shan. 5 stars for Affy, 4.5 for B.
Nice.
I read this a long time ago and loved it. 4.5. It's, one of my favorites. I really love this book. I want to read the rest and read Josephine's story from her other series. I give it 4.5 stars. Awesome, Megan. That's the sister, I think, that we hear about, right? Josephine. And then I bought the holiday novella prequel. Yep. Got to do that, right? I gave it 5 stars. I really love this one. Awesome page. B says Megan says there's a holiday prequel. What's it called? B would know. I'm so bad at knowing things. Mary gave it a 4. This was actually a universally liked one for our book club, because you run a book club. Sometimes you get people who love it, and some people are like, nope, did not like that one.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because everybody's tastes are different, for sure.
Yes. I loved it and gave it 4.5 stars both times. It was a reread for me too. Oh, that's awesome, Lainey. I'm glad I read it, and that's my super specific scientific rating systems. That works too, Sock. How the Duke Saved Christmas. Oh, I feel like I've heard of that one. I need to try more from Anna Harrington. I actually tried this one, and there was one, An Unexpected Earl by her, and I definitely like this one more.
Is that the second? Is that the second one in the series?
Totally different.
Or is it a different series? Totally different series. Okay.
Yeah,
This was my first time reading this author, so this was the first experience for me.
Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, I've only read from her twice, and then it was a while ago, and I just never continued on because I am horrible at series. Lainey says, I definitely want to continue the series. Yes, I need to finish the Carlyles. 4 stars, not in a hurry to reread, but would. Okay, good to know, Nicole. Thanks. I also ended up with 2 copies. How'd that end up happening? I really want
Happens all the time. You wouldn't think it would, but it does.
right? I try and track them. I try.
I do. I've tried to use Goodreads. I think I need to do an Excel sheet because it Goodreads, I feel like all of a sudden it doesn't put what you entered. Like you'll go back and like it didn't select it for some reason. Like I
Oh,
could have
see, I use
swore
Goodreads.
I marked it.
Maybe that's why I have duplicates as well. But I think I want to say B has a spreadsheet. Let us know.
She's kind of broken out by step back too, don't you? That's
She
amazing.
might. It's probably beautiful. I'd also be interested in reading Josephine's book as well. Didn't the mom say something about her being a highwayman, or was that her husband, like her character? So I'm interested in her love story. Yeah, definitely interesting characters because they just came into their title too. They're kind of like right when the dad passed away.
Yeah, that was the sister-in-law, wasn't it, Josephine?
Was it the sister-in-law or his sister?
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm thinking of the female main character. So like her coming in, that was
Oh yes,
the Duke's
that would have
sister.
been.
Is that was? Okay.
I think so. Yeah, that would be like I was
Okay.
thinking the male main character because the series is the Carlisle, so that's what's in my brain.
That's
But yes,
right.
it would be her sister-in-law, his sister.
That makes sense now.
Oh, Mary, good to know. She said she loved How the Duke Saved Christmas. I was sold on 3 stars, and then the ending happened, and that pushed up my rating. The ending is cute. I really do like it. I needed him to get some sense. I use Excel to track my books, and it's fun to include tropes and things as well. Yeah, definitely. Sucks as I went to the library to pick it up, then went to fill a bag for the $5 sale at the Friends of the Library bookshop, and they had it there. Oh well, now you get to own it. You don't have to return the other one. That's kind of neat. Also, like $5, it's like a bargain. We got
those are so awesome.
Yeah, I don't have a library that does that around me, unfortunately, but I would love that. We got to capture all of those Carlisles, right? I'm wondering what's going to happen with Robert because he's kind of already like with that other girl. I was like, is something going to happen, or is it just going to show their love story? So library copy and my own copy on the same errand. Well,
nice.
It happens. Megan says, I'm interested to see what happens with Robert and Diana. That's her name. And if they have a book or if he's with someone else. Right? I'm curious about that as well. Because he was head over heels for her. One of the hardbacks is large print Catherine Coulter. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I think that happened. Like, hey, just look at it this way. You supported the library by checking out the book. And then you also supported the library by buying one of the books from their book sale.
Yep. That's
true.
You
did a double whammy.
Abby Jean says, I looked at the synopsis for future books, and I believe Robert and Diana don't end up together, but they both get their own books. Ooh, I love that. Interesting. And Quinn, we need to see him get captured. We do. Yeah, Robert gets his own book. That's what I thought. I think all the Carlisle brothers do. Robert doesn't marry the other girl. I read the blurb of the other books. Good to know, Terry. Yeah, I didn't think he did, which I was like, what happens there? Maybe Diana can be in a series called Carlisle Cast-Offs. Oh gosh, suck. If you include both in the novellas, there are 8 in total. I didn't even realize that.
Oh, was it really that long?
I was like, how many brothers are there? It's only 3, right? 3 total.
Yeah,
one.
Yeah, because I think I did like look at the next book after I finished this one. Initially, I was like, oh, because I needed to know who would be the next couple. So
yeah. Is it Robert the next one or no? Am I thinking wrong?
It says, yeah, Robert.
I have seen that one around the How the Duke Saved Christmas. There are like
the next one is, yeah, all the devil, like how the what yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I'm excited. I can't wait to read more.
Yeah, I've always heard great things about this one, but I've never especially a couple of years ago. I know this was making the rounds.
Yeah. Does anyone know the title of Josephine's book? I think it's that novella one, right? The first one, How the Duke. Well, that's 0.5. How the Duke Saved Christmas. Is that Josephine? No.
That one says Clara Marshall.
So just kidding.
I'm sure she's in here. Let me.
Yeah. I'm looking. Diana Morgan. Let me know if you find it, because I can't find it.
I am looking. I see.
Yeah. Does the sister have her own book as well? That's what we're looking at.
Is this a lost opportunity? Because that would be horrendous. I don't see her yet. It would have to be like a prequel, right? Because she's already married in the first one.
Yeah. And that's why I thought
There's
it was
Diana
that
Morgan.
Christmas one. But it's not
Diana.
the Christmas one. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. No, I think Diana Morgan. That sounds familiar. Was it one of those? One of the characters, isn't it?
Yeah, it says Lady Clara Marshall in this one, in the Christmas one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no book for Josephine.
Interesting. Unless she's part of a different series.
Maybe it's like a sister series.
Yeah.
Which that's always kind of cool too as well.
Oh, How I Married a Marquess. That's it. It's probably a different series. Yes, someone said her book is in a different series, though. Thanks. Yeah. Yes, different series.
The
Okay.
Secret Life of Scoundrels series. Ooh, these are pretty.
Look at the comments, Goddess. Good job, guys. Checking to see if maybe she is. Secret Life of Scoundrels #3. Yes. Thanks.
And those covers are really pretty too.
She has really pretty covers. Now we need to
always love a good dress cover. Yeah. If I can't get a clinch, a good dress one's always nice.
Right? I think it's so pretty. And then the other one that I love that's like just a dress is a Harper St. George, the first one. I think I have it. The Heiress Gets a Duke. I have it up here.
Yeah, that's on my TBR for this year.
Because it's old. Yes. I'm just like, that's stunning. I gave it, I think, a 3.5, maybe a 4. But
okay.
I feel like it varies for people. And like, I feel like the series, people like love some in that series and some are just like, okay. So I think I need to try more from Harper St. George. We've got it.
Yeah, I wonder if because of the traditional publishing, I don't think they're renewing her contract. So I wonder if she's going to go indie.
Interesting.
I don't know if they're going. I don't know if they're renewing it, or if I don't know if I saw it somewhere that they weren't going to renew it. Because she just had one that's got released, I think, or going to be released here soon. It would be in the traditional trade paperback, I think.
Yeah, I think she is at her last one though, maybe.
I think I thought it was just part of a series that I thought was only 2 of them, but it had like very similar like dress. And it started out, the first one started out in the new trade paperbacks. I remember the controversy after that initial series that you were talking about.
Yeah.
That it was like something because they decided not to do mass market. They were doing a trade paperback for it.
Sure.
And with everything, I don't know if it's supposed to be a trilogy, quote unquote. So I don't know if they're going to renew her contract, or if they're not, if she's going to go indie or change to a different genre that a lot of others are doing.
Yeah, I've noticed that. B says, look at Once a Scoundrel. I found 2 for that one by Anna Harrington that have 2 different dresses. There's like a red one and a pink one. B, let us know which one you're talking about, but both are beautiful. Book 4, Secret Life of Scoundrels, is gorgeous. I just think she's got pretty covers. Harper St. George has such a pretty covers, but as far as Gilded Age, I prefer Joanna Shoup. Good to know, Shan. Yes.
Yeah, Joanna Shoup is. Yeah.
I've only read one of hers. I need to read more of Joanna Shoup.
I want to. Yeah, I want to try Harper St. George and compare because I haven't read her yet. But I really liked Joanna Shute's one, and I haven't read her like London one. I think it's called oh gosh, what's it called? It's more of like the grittier London side.
I'm trying to think.
So I would like to compare the two.
For Joanna Shupe, I only read The Rogue of Fifth Avenue, and honestly,
Yeah,
based off that one's slightly higher than the Harper St. George one. But they're both just like okay for me. They're not memorable, but they were like a good read when I read it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, is that the one with the lady gets lucky or something like that? Is that the series?
Yeah, I definitely want to try that one because a lot of people like that one. Well, is it that one? Maybe not.
The Bride goes, yeah, a lot of people like it. It's the purple one, the purple cover, but
Yeah.
the lady gets lucky. The pink one is my favorite out of that series. It's so good.
Okay.
Because it has a masquerade, like a to the lady
The Devil
masquerade
of
ball.
Downtown. That one's Devil of Downtown, right?
Oh, that's the series that I haven't read yet. Yeah, that's the one that I need to try.
Okay. Gotcha. The Red. Okay. He was talking about The Red. I hope more authors go indie. Me too. I need my historical romance. Just so pretty. Yeah. All for authors going indie. Keep sharing your stories. We'll support you. Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, where's she going? I keep track of. That's why I'm like, I gotta keep track of her because she does. I wouldn't try that in.
Exactly. And then I have thoughts on characters. I love Miranda. Like, I think she's such, like, just daring. She really is like, I'm going to go after what I want. So here it is. And she comes up with this whole plan. Although it backfires, girl knows what she wants.
Yeah, that was quite the opening, I have to say. I'm like, I don't think I ever in my real life I would ever have the gumption to do something like that.
Right? Oh my goodness. So true. Abby Jean says,
That was brave, very brave.
Yeah. For me, my favorites are The Lady Gets Lucky, Lessons in Seduction, and The Prince of Broadway Rags to Riches. Is that like self-made man too? I love a self-made man.
Mm-hmm.
I think more historical romance authors will go indie because they have more freedom to do whatever. Yeah. Hopefully. I really love both Miranda and Sebastian, but Sebastian's stubbornness drove me crazy at the end. Yeah, definitely. I'm glad his mom came and talked to him and was like, hey. And then, like, don't be an idiot. Go get Miranda.
Yeah, that was the part that I did. Like, I loved Miranda, but like, it felt kind of a weird way to say she was. It's that whole like Cinderella thing, but it's like in a way that, like, why couldn't you marry her? But it was such a weird thing that he's putting on in his own mind, in his head, because she's okay enough to deflower, but not okay. Like, even though her honor, you've did that without her rights, but she's not good enough to marry. Like, but you did this knowingly that she would ruin her prospects. So I was like, that's very, very shady.
Yeah, I like how his brothers kind of were like, yeah, you got to go marry her. And he's like,
Like,
no.
yeah, like,
they're like,
you
no.
compromised her, dude.
Like, dude, get it together. And then he finally talked to his mom and she's like, okay. Yeah. Apparently it was just like, he was just so stuck in that, I don't know, trying to like feel that guilt for where he was when his dad died. And then,
Oh, yeah.
he reminds me a bit of an Anthony in that regard.
Yeah, definitely. Because he's putting on his dad's actions like it was his actions, and that's not necessarily the case. So he has to feels like he has to overcorrect.
Yep.
Because of that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, did I read this one? I didn't. Megan says, I really love both Miranda and Sebastian. Oh, no, I did. Oops. Abby Jean says, I loved how brave and headstrong Miranda was. Yes. I really liked how playful they were in the beginning. Yes, their banter. I love it. I love good banter.
Me too.
Lisa agrees with Megan. Yes. I liked how she was so organized in some ways, but also chaotic things happened. Hashtag relatable. Right? Everything around her. She's like, well, that one wasn't my fault. When he was telling her, like, hey, you need to keep it together or like not get up to shenanigans. And she's like, the last one wasn't my fault. I love Sebastian with my whole heart. I liked how protective he is. Yeah, for some reason, I kept picturing the actor who plays Anthony in Bridgerton when I visualized Sebastian. Yeah, because they are very similar characters. They're very much like leaders of their family, and like their dad's passed away and they've taken on this responsibility. And then they feel like they can't marry the person they want to marry because they have to have the perfect Duchess.
Reminds me a little bit of Benedict too, because he wants her to be his mistress. So I'm like, and this one, like, he didn't even want her to be his mistress, did he? So I'm like, what kind of? I'm like, what?
I need you to get it together. He did.
Like, what are you doing, dude?
Poor Miranda couldn't get Robert to look at her right. That's my favorite part. They're like, he was a bit of a brat, in my opinion. I thought it was funny that like the only person that noticed that like that she had blossomed into a woman was Sebastian. And then like they were like, both the brothers are like, they walk in and they're like, what? Miranda Hodgkins? They're like blown away that, you know, he would be attracted to her.
She's like a sister or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
they're like so confused. I was confused at the end. He did not know the history of his parents. Yeah, maybe it just wasn't talked about, and then I don't know if it just hurt mom to talk about, you know. And she was kind of
weird
that secret. Yeah. No, you're good. You know?
Yeah, it's weird like that they never talked about it. I know this how kids are handled in like the upper crust that way anyway, no governesses, so they're kind of like a distance between their parents.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that's kind of crazy that like he didn't even know where his mom came from, like her family.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's just the way things go too, as well, because it's something they don't want to talk about.
Yeah, and they very well could have passed away before he was born or old enough to remember, just because people didn't live long in that time period.
Yeah.
I like that Sebastian was kind of a jerk. I imagine a lot of aristocrats back then were like that, but at least he was able to learn and grow. Yeah, I'm telling you, I love a cocky character who kind of like gets, because Anthony's very much that way, and I love him too. But I feel like if you get like a cocky character that's a perfect amount, because then the banter I think is very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Abby Jean, I have the one unpopular opinion. I gave it a 2 stars. It started as a 5 for me, but kept going down by the end. Oh, that's okay, Abby Jean. You know, you like some, you don't like some. Yes, Nicole, I was so confused by, here's the history of your parents.
Yeah. And I think that was kind of what bothered me, is like now he saw that she was worthy. And that was kind of like, she was worthy all along. And I'm like, you were putting her worth to that. And that was, I think that's why it really bugged me. I'm like, that's not cool, man.
I appreciate that Miranda had so much moxie. She went after what she wanted. And I love how freely she flirted with Sebastian, especially after she realized she loved him. Yes, I was here for it. She's the best. I love also the I guess this is not on character, so I did something on like favorite scene or favorite moment in a book, so I guess I'll wait. Nicole says, it's strange that he would be a grown man and not know his parents' story and then come to conclusions he did. It's really weird for me. I think it might be a time period thing, or it just might be a weird part in the book. I'm not sure. Paige's Book Shack. I love Miranda. She goes for what she wants, but brings this innocence with her that just makes you want the world for her. That's so true. He mentions that a lot too, is that like she has this like, I don't know, like thirst for life, and like she's just so like sunshiny, and like he likes that about her.
Well, yeah, and her playing with the kids, like the pirate thing, and I know we're talking about scenes, but like her
Yeah.
doing that, her personality showcasing in that also kind of helped drive the banter too as well, because she had the fun personality.
Yeah, I loved her personality. I think he knew about his parents, but didn't realize their story could apply to his circumstances as well. Oh, that's a good thought, Sock. 100 Nicole. He's an idiot. Terry says it's weird that his parents married before they were nobility, and his mom is like a farmer's daughter. Miranda's not good enough for him. I had a little problem with that. Gotcha. Yeah, exactly, Terry. Major plot hole there, it seemed. Gotcha. Yeah. Sebastian didn't think about the fact that his parents had a love match and would most likely want that for him too. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing that kind of reminded me of the parallels between Anthony Bridgerton and Sebastian. That's his name, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, because Anthony didn't want to ever fall in love because he would, pass away. So same kind of thing as you're putting your future happiness on possibly a lifetime of unhappiness because of something that's some weird preconceived notion or prediction that is kind of that's like a short-term decision or whatever that's going to affect your life long
Yeah.
term, that like it's very important to find the right person.
Yes. Sebastian drove me crazy, but I also understand that due to his past behavior and feeling like he let people down and wanted to do right by his family, I appreciate his character growth. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
definitely can. I just summed it up that I just had to work that way because she was shooting for a Cinderella retelling, I guess. So those choices made sense in a very strange way, taking that into account. Gotcha, Nicole. Robert was so oblivious. Yeah. To be fair, he grew up with her and Sebastian didn't. Robert thought of her as an annoying sister. Yeah, he did.
And it was kind of to a certain point, I'm like, I don't think she even had a lot of the skin of the game because like it was obvious that like it's almost you could tell that her feelings were for Robert were like a crush. And
Mm-hmm.
then like very obvious, like Robert isn't showing any other indication that he's interested. Um, but
Yeah.
again, that's also when you're pining for somebody so long, you're kind of become blind to like have they even shown you anything
Yeah. And
like that.
especially like she noticed that he was like wanting or like was kind of like trying to court Diana. And so like she was like, I'm
Hmm.
losing him. But like you never had him. you know? Um,
Hmm.
so I thought that was interesting. Yeah. Nicole said it was muddy. I felt like he needed it explained to him in small words because he was hung up on being a duke. Like his parents' love match was okay because they weren't nobility when they were married. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So he feels like he has a lot more pressure on him. If it wasn't for mom's chat at the end, this book would have stunk. Gotcha. Agree. Lainey says agree at Shan reads. I also think he didn't think he deserved happiness, and that superseded his love for Miranda. So he ended up hurting her too. Yeah, I do think that. Spot on, Sock, in my opinion. I think Sebastian did know his parents' humble beginnings, but with a new dukedom, it's been forgotten, and he's been struggling under the pressure to look perfect. Yeah. I think some of what Sebastian was doing made sense to me because I've known the kids of parents who got wealthy and they're the biggest smells around. Oh. Abby Jean. I did like that Sebastian was clear with Miranda about what he could offer her, but I had trouble empathizing with him with all his privilege. Gotcha. She did seem to get over Robert pretty quickly. The moment Sebastian was like, "You're beautiful," she's like, "Robert, who?" Yeah. I think he was like, it was the flirtation, you know. Such insightful comment, Sock. Yes. And that totally makes sense for Cinderella. Yeah. Definitely. All right. So, oops. Let's see if I can get, if you have a favorite scene or moment in the book. For me, it definitely was well, I have multiple, but I love the beginning scene on how they meet. That's an adorable meet cute and so fun. And then I like when they're at, is it like the play or the opera? And
Yes.
that's
That too.
so good. I love that scene. That whole like interaction, and he's like flirting with her, and then there's the other guy there, and then she kind of sneaks away, and then they have that moment backstage. It's just so lovely. I love that one. And then obviously the end where they come back together, and he's like he goes to the orphanage.
I think the other one that I like those three too, but the other one that I really liked was, of course, I love any scene that has a great like comedic part that
Mhm.
is like, that is just so authentic when she's playing the pirate thing. And
Mhm.
he's like, what Hamlet was missing was the pirates. So, and so they were like, I just remember like she was like falling down or something like that. Then all of a sudden, like the shadow comes over and she's like, oh no. Like she knows, she's like, I know who the person is. And it's just like
Right?
that whole interaction of banter is like the tension was so there, but like also playful. So it was so good.
Yeah. And then like in that scene, that's like in the beginning. And so like obviously it's after the little tryst, the accidental
Yes.
tryst. And then he's like, "Hey, we have to go. I need you to make sure you're doing what you need to be doing." Because she's always, in accidents or crazy shenanigans happen around her. And he's like, "Yeah, this is why." He's like, "Why aren't the kids in um, school?" And she's like, "Well, they were." But we needed to do some Hamlet. Or was it Romeo and Juliet? No, Romeo and Juliet was at the end, I think.
Yeah, but like just to hold her, the fact that was the part that I liked, that he kind of fell in love with her personality on that part, and then like, oh, where she changed his mind, like, oh yeah, like all of a sudden it became like an inside joke on like where Hamlet, it needed some pirates because like it was mentioned. Or was it Hamlet? Am I misremembering? But that was just really funny.
I know for sure at the end, I think it was the Romeo and Juliet. I don't remember at the beginning. It might have been them doing it again.
Yeah, I could never.
I don't know if
Was
they're
it
doing
Romeo and
the
Juliet
same.
with
You're right.
pirates?
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
like
remember which one it was. Yeah.
you guys tell us because I could be misremembering too. But I think at the end, she's talking about they're like,
The one with the kids, they're saying that she wrote in, or somebody make a comment like, she wrote in, she adjusted or edited Shakespeare.
yes, and
I'm like, what?
I think it was one of those. It had to been it had to been I think Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I think that Robert or somebody commented that, and that was funny
Mhm.
because I was
Yeah, you're right.
like, edit Shakespeare.
Right. I feel like it's sort of boxed in the book and it had trouble breathing. Gotcha. Abby Jean says thanks. Or well, Sock says thanks to Abby Jean. Tiptoes very slowly to her seat and whispers her hellos. Hello, Deborah. We're glad you're here and you've made it. Everything in the theater. Yeah, I do love the theater scene. Oh,
You
so
could
good.
definitely tell he got a little jealous in that scene too, and I'm
Ooh,
like,
and
yeah.
the tension. You're like, ooh.
So he's got competition now.
Mhm. Sucks says I love a great redirect. Yeah. Redecoration scene, and she fixed both her bedroom and her tower. The pirate scene, yes. Crystal, could that count for female pirate? He's on asking for a friend.
I don't think that one would count, guys.
No. I
But
love
good try, good try. I love the enthusiasm.
Terry gave it a go. She's like, maybe.
Right.
I love the beautiful settings at the opera and the Vauxhall Gardens. Yes, I agree, B. The backstage scene and the proposal scene, yep. I feel you on those ones, Affy. I really like the play with the kids. I'm a sucker for characters that love playing with kids and then having the kids there at the yes. It came like full circle.
Oh wait, Avi just said about the backstage. I forgot about that too. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah.
Where
There's a
they're
lot of
having
things happening in that theater.
yeah. My favorite scene was when they were in the ballroom and kept sniping at each other every time they passed each other. It was like they were the only ones in a crowded room. That's a good one too. I also loved how he would call her Rose. Yes. And like it's only they knew. But then he finds out, oh, that's her middle name.
Well, then it becomes something that will become like long standing, but then kind of makes sense if somebody else would hear it too. It's like,
Yep.
why are you calling her Rose? Yeah.
Oh, and when she falls down, the orphans and Mr. Grundy all run away. And she's like, oh, if I don't let him help me up, I'm stuck. Yes. Ah. It's a small scene, but I loved when she tripped out of the carriage at the beginning and she thinks Robert, oh, yes, or the footman caught her, but it was Sebastian. I like that one too. I agree, Shan. It just goes like for those like small scenes, it's like he's already noticing her and caring for her. And you're like, oh, okay.
It's like the whole Pride and Prejudice thing, the hand flex. It's the
Right?
small things.
We love it. I might be silly, but my favorite was him finding her in his room, his reading chair. Oh, yeah, just settled in and reading the way he caught up. I loved it. Yes. And that he's like, I should have been here from the beginning if I would have known. And like and then he's like, I could wake up every day like this and or go to sleep every day like this. And I was like, okay. And that's
Well, yeah, and that's the fact too in the beginning when she's in that scene, she's like, oh, she's thinking it was Robert, where they had many things in common, like seeing the books and things that he's reading. I'm like, it just became very obvious that they were just so much better or for each other.
yes, that's true too. I didn't even think about that. I love that too. Yes, her in his room was really a beautiful scene. Yeah. Mom's chat. It was the moment I actually started to have any kind of empathy words or towards Sebastian. I was really disgusted that he was bent on not marrying her and then still being so intimate with her. Gotcha. To Nicole's point, I really want him to come to the conclusion on his own. I'm not a fan of parent side characters having to talk sense probably into main characters' personal preference. Gotcha, Abby Jean. Yeah. The picnic was also a good one. The conversation between, yes. Yeah. I was like trying to think back. Yeah, that's a good one too. And like he tries to give her something to talk about with Robert and it backfires. It's funny. Yeah, I can definitely understand that. I'm not usually a fan of those scenes either. Gotcha.
Yeah, they definitely remind me a little bit of like a Sabrina retelling. Do you guys remember that movie? Where she falls in love. She has this big crush on the younger brother, but then falls in love with the older brother that is like a little bit of a stiff, and very similar to this book.
Mm.
Christina Dodd even wrote one that's very similar. It's literally a Sabrina retelling. It has, oh gosh, it's an older film, but they also remade it in the 90s. It's called Sabrina.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm curious.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of, like a Sabrina retelling. See, Ma, B knows what I'm talking about. Mama needs to romance yet.
1995 romance comedy.
Yeah, what's his name? Oh
Richard
gosh, the
Gere?
Indiana Jones actor. No, yeah, yes, it is
Oh,
Richard
not
Gere, not the
Richard
other
Gere.
one.
Who is this? I
What's
know
the
it too.
Indiana Jones guy?
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford, yeah.
Yeah.
The
I've
original one
seen it.
had the actress that did Breakfast at Tiffany's. The
Yeah.
original one had that actress.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like a
Audrey Hepburn, there
recreation.
it is.
Yeah.
Audrey Hepburn, yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I remember like that being around. You know what I mean? Like Blockbuster and such.
And she was the driver's daughter, I think, too, as well. So it's a very similar, like, they're friendly and neighborly, very similar to this book as well. She's like the
Mm.
daughter of not nobility, but a well-respected person, and yeah.
Gotcha. Where was I? Sorry, guys. I think here, these are all such good moments. It all layered so well together. Abby Jean agreed. I got pretty mad at some of his inner monologue about her wanting to smack him with the backside of the head more than once. Yeah, he needed to figure some things out. He would have been better talking about fishing. Yeah, that's the scene at the picnic, Shan. I love it. Yes, Sabrina. I was thinking that. Yeah, so you guys are on the same page. So good. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Kamal knows that movie. Yes, I'm gonna have to watch it. Sabrina, both are classics.
Both, exactly. Both are really good.
Can we really say the 1991 is a classic? Come on, me. I'm just kidding.
Sadly, is now, probably.
1995? What are you talking about?
I mean, it's over 30 years now.
Stop!
I know, I'm gonna cry. How did it go by so fast?
Audrey Hepburn in the original. Yes, Jody, thanks. Harrison Ford. Oh, see, they were faster than we were. She started talking about fish, and Sebastian was like, yeah. And Greg Kinnear. Okay, I gotta watch this. I'm really intrigued to read this once again now. Although I think I'd like to start with reading Mom's Scene and then going back to the beginning, so maybe I can read it without disliking it so much. Fair, Nicole, fair. Problem was Audrey Hepburn was 11 years younger than the younger brother and like 30 years younger than the guy she ended up with. Really? I assume in real life, not in the movie. I would hope so. Who knows? So, where's the issue? Sock. Oh, that's funny.
It's an age gap, we know.
The issue is a daddy issue, maybe. Just made me kind of uncomfy. Gotcha. All right. Those are all the questions I have. So if anybody wants to add anything, go ahead and let us know. Oh, we got more comments coming in. Nicole said, but she had a great dad. Okay. The butler was her dad, right?
The driver.
The driver. Yeah. Okay, the driver. That was par for the course back with older movies. Look at My Fair Lady. I know I've watched My Fair Lady. That's true. Would this technically be considered an age gap since they're about 10 years apart? That's a good question, Affy. I would think so. I do think it was more acceptable back then because men were bachelors for longer, and then obviously women were not. They was it 15 or 16? Very early.
I think it was like in some places, yeah, unfortunately. But normally I think in this kind of society, I think it was like 17 or 18.
Yeah, Lisa was a little bit. Nicole says no, the gardener. Yeah, I don't know, guys.
Oh, the gardener. It might have been two different jobs in the different movies because I remember one was the driver, I think. So maybe in one version, and then because the one in the 90s was something different.
Yeah,
as well.
Which would probably
the technology. Yeah,
make more sense towards it. Historical romance, yes, I wouldn't count it as an age gap. Yeah. That she had a great dad makes it worse. I don't know. Oh, I see what she's saying. Because she had a great dad, it would make it worse. Like, hey, he's so much older. LOL, fair. You had your debut at 16, I think. So by 18, you've already had 2 seasons because by 21, you would have had 5. I think my math is right.
I feel like in everyone I've read, it's 17. Because I think even in England, 17 is a legal age, maybe even back then.
Yeah. And then by the time you're 25, you're a spinster. So.
Yeah. So I would think, because even by the 3rd season, then you're considered like on the shelf almost, or you're getting close.
Yeah. The debut is 17, not 16. Gotcha. Right? And they were saying how very old she was for her debut. Yeah. Oh, my bad. I knew it was younger than 18. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No worries. We figured it out. I do want to mention our next May book is going to be, let me see if I can present it. Image, share screen. Well, it's just going to have all the books. Sorry, guys. But it is The Truth About Love and Dukes. I don't know if you guys can see it. Hope so. But that one is going to be, we're going to have our reading sprints. Let me put it up on the screen. Reading sprints for that one will be May 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that one will be on Bee's channel. So I'm excited for that, if I can recall what it's even about.
What's the book called?
It's The Truth About Love and Dukes by Laura Lee Gerke. This will be our first, or at least be my first read from Laura Lee Gerke.
Okay. I'm trying to look it up. I don't think I...
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I think I have it on my... Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah, I do have this on my TBR, I think. That's cool.
Yeah, this one says... Yeah.
That's cool. I might... What's it have tropes on? Let's see, because I think I actually had this for... I think this is one of my 25 and 25 list. I have to double check my shelf, but that looks cool.
So oh, this one, I think she's like an author of a paper. So, dear Lady True Love, I've fallen in love, truly and completely in love for the first time. Ma'am, the man whom I hold in such passionate regard, however, is not of my station. He is a painter, a brilliant artist, needless to say, my family would not approve. And I think he's like a duke and she's a writer, and like his mom writes to Lady True Love and she gives her advice. And the mom runs away with, I think, the painter. And so he's mad and he wants to take her down. I think that's what's going on.
That's funny.
So y'all let me know if I'm completely off the market with that one.
So cool. Oh yeah, there's the Governess Gone Rogue in here too. Okay, yeah. That looks really good.
Oh. So Abby Jean says, my final issue, and I won't be negative Nancy anymore. No worries, Abby Jean. The thing I had the biggest problem with was that she cried, got upset after every one of their sexual encounters. They didn't even have a redemption scene at the end. It made me sad. Gotcha. I don't remember that. I know the first one because the brother walks in. The other brother, I think. When the their like first full encounter. I'm gonna have to go look. One I've already put on TBR. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that was when after she spends the night the first time in his room, I think, or something like that. And that's where he just walks in to his brother's room.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I think that's the second time they're together because they hear him. And they don't know who it is. The brothers are like, yeah, tonight.
The trouble realizing that who it was, and you're like, oh my god, it's so funny.
Oh, it's funny. Okay. Shan says, what I've already put on the readathon TBR, Truth About Love and Dukes. I'm so excited to read it. Oh, I'm glad. Affy says, I'm surprised they gave her a debut since he was so adamant that she was lower in status than them. I think it's because of everything she did for the family. Like, she helped when the dad passed away with the orphanage, like just how much she cared for his family, that his mom wanted to give a debut to her. He felt that was important because she basically came and checked on the mom and like was like caring for her after the death of her husband. So I feel like they wanted to repay her in some way. I didn't realize that, Abby Jean. That is heartbreaking. Yeah. In May, we'll vote for a second chance and also then July's theme. Yes. It's about Cinderella pirate who time travels to become a governess. We're all set. I wish we'd be racking up those points.
I mean, that would be a very pretzel way to do it. That'd be awesome.
That's on the nose. Hello, sorry I'm late. I didn't finish the book. Got sidetracked by Narc, but I'm going to finish it. No worries, Theron. I hope you enjoy it when you finish it. My first two never read her, and that's from Laura Lee Gerke. Oops, I'm trying to hide that. And let's see. I always get lost in the comments, so I'm sorry, guys.
There's always a time delay too, so then it throws you off.
Yep.
Like, oh yeah.
His mom runs because of gossip romance column, and he wants to give through. Ah, that's right. Okay, so it's a little bit different, and it ends up being her. That's the Laura Lee Gerke one. I love her. Bookshop Cinderella equals so good. Good. You got it, Tara. Oh, I did, Mary. Thank you. All the series is so good. Dear Lady True Love is such a good series. I can't wait. You are not off, Tara. First time for everything, guys. So Truth About Dukes is for June. For May. Right? Our next, we're in April. Yep. So the Truth About Love and Dukes is for May. That will be for our book club. And then Nicole, okay. Somebody already helped out. Thanks, guys. It's for May. June hasn't been decided yet. That's true. Got it. Hi,
Hey there.
All right, guys. Well, unless we have anything to add, that is it for the live show. Thank you so much, Crystal, for joining me. And Bea, if you're still on, I hope you feel better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so bad. I had it early this year. It was so not fun.
Right? Affy says, oh gosh, May TBR is already so right. I know. Thanks, Tara and Crystal. Of course. Thanks. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later. Thank you guys for joining. Let's see if I can end the stream or we're going to have the really long wave.
like an awkward wave.